guys, Vicky, we are back. So in the last two videos, especially the last one, we talked about the 4 things your pets need to be healthy. And the 4th one was essential oils. And we talked about how you need to use certified pure therapeutic grade essential oils. But what I want to do is I want to go a little more in depth with you in this video. I want to discuss my top 10 recommendations for essential oils. Because a lot of people say, okay, sounds good. I want to start using them, but what would you recommend? So in this video, what we're going to do is we're going to break down my top 10. It's not all of the oils, but it's a place for you to get started, okay? So if you're ready and you want this information, hang tight, watch this video, stay all the way till the end because there will be a link you can click on to give you some more in-depth information. So number 1, oil. And this is probably my number 1 oil of all times, whether it's for people or animals. It's my favorite oil to use because everything alive tolerates this amazingly well, and it has some of the most powerful properties around. What oil am I talking about? Frankincense. Okay? If you haven't heard of frankincense, well, if you're familiar with the Bible and have read stories of the Bible and the birth of Jesus, you've heard of frankincense, okay? But you may have been like me growing up, just knowing frankincense, myrrh, and gold were brought to the baby Jesus, but I had no idea what frankincense was. Frankincense is great in general on both dogs and cats. And like I said, it has amazing healing and restorative properties for the body, whether it be an animal or a human's body, okay? There are over 200 chemical constituents that are found in frankincense. So you can use it for everything. That's what's amazing about it. And like I tell you, it's funny. I'll go ahead and give you this tip now. So for your pets, what you can do, especially dogs, to see if you know there's an oil you think you want to use or it's good for a condition, but you're wondering, will my dog be okay with this oil? Will they like it? You can just open the lid on the bottle, kind of hold it out there, let them put their nose as close to it as they want. Don't put it up under theirs, let them put it there, and they'll kind of let you know. Well, my Vizsla will lick frankincense off of me, and my Ridgeback doesn't draw away. He smells it, kind of licks his lips, so he's letting me know, I'm okay with this. Now, a lot of ways, and a lot of times too, they'll let you know if that's something their body needs and they want by doing that. So anyways, they both love frankincense. Haven't really found a dog that has an issue with it. So dogs and cats, both cats. So here's one that cats tolerate really well as well. It's great for their immunity. It's effective for preventing and stopping seizures. Do you hear that? How many of you out there have dogs that are suffering from seizures? Guys, I am talking to friends and relatives on a regular basis. It seems like more and more of our pets are having seizures, which we'll get into that in another video, kind of what's going on, and that shouldn't be the case. But this is a very effective oil to not only stop a seizure in its tracks, but to prevent it. Okay? It's good for arthritis and joint pain. It's highly effective on cancer cells. Remember in the first video we talked about cancer is the #1 cause of death, leading cause of death in pets. And it's almost there with humans. This is highly effective on cancer cells and human bodies as well. So again, this is a great oil to have around. And it's good for neurologic disorders. As we said, seizure, there's something neurological going on, and other neurological disorders, frankincense is definitely one you're going to want to have on hand. Okay? My number 2 oil I recommend is lavender. And this is one that more of you might be familiar with. You've heard of it. You at least know the smell and the scent. If you've never used the oil, you're more familiar with it. Lavender is my number 2. It's good for the skin and all things calming. So if you have a pet that has high stress or gets anxious really easily, like my Vizsla does during the 4th of July, she does not like the fireworks, or we call them pop-pops. She hears a pop-pop, she goes crazy. We have to put her, she wants to go into the laundry room where it's kind of tight and quiet. She just shakes. Lavender is very calming, and it helps in situations like this. It's what we call an adaptogen. So it can assist the body when it's stressed, like in a time of anxiousness or imbalance. It's a natural antiviral, so it's great for killing viruses. It's a natural antihistamine. So what does that tell you when I say a natural antihistamine? What do you think? Good for allergies, right? It's one of the oils I would recommend for pet allergies and helping calm that and get that under control. And it's one of the oils I use with my Vizsla when she's showing allergy issues. It's helpful for dry skin, cuts, bruises, bites, burns. Any of those situations, you can use lavender. And it's good for a cat as well as a dog. Ready? What is the number 3 oil? And this one we love in our house, especially my husband. He goes through this so fast. Number 3, and I've used this quite a bit on my dogs as well, helichrysum. So if you've never heard of this, don't worry. I wasn't necessarily sure about what it was when I first heard of it. Helichrysum comes from a flower. It contains natural chemicals that renew and calm the tissue. This is a very potent, very powerful oil for the body, okay? And dogs tolerate this oil amazingly well, just like frankincense, okay? It's a great emergency oil. So remember I said that it's good for renewing and calming the tissue? That's why we call it an emergency oil. As a matter of fact, I'll have to tell you a story another time what it did for my husband when he tore a muscle and had internal bleeding. This was something that helped stop that again. So great to have on hand for that. It can be used directly on suture sites. I used helichrysum and frankincense both directly on the suture sites for both of my dogs when they were fixed. Used it directly on there. It was amazing how not only the suture sites and the stitches, where the stitches were, how that not only healed so much faster than if we wouldn't have used it on its own, but also we didn't use any antibiotics. We did some oil bombs before they went in, and then we just kept this in them afterwards. So because it was these are both great antiviral, antifungal, antibacterial oils. But also the helichrysum in my female, in Sophie, within 24 hours, she had a lot of like bruising around her suture site. Within 24 hours, because we were using helichrysum, that bruising was gone. So again, amazing for suture sites. It has very strong anti-inflammatory properties, okay? And that's key because inflammation can cause a lot of problems in the body. So it's great for that. It's great for cellular vitality and a healthy metabolism. So if you have an obese pet, like we were talking about, this is a great oil to help kick that metabolism into gear and help maintain that healthy metabolism for them so that they can shed the excess weight and not necessarily put it on as well. Has antifungal and antimicrobial properties. And it's useful for skin irritations and bruising. Again, like I said, stops bleeding. Amazing oil to have on hand for your pups. Man, tolerate it well, and it can take care of so many things. Great emergency oil. I recommend every household have this because you will use it. Number 4, and I'm going to tell you, this oil is used probably more often than any other oil in my house with my dogs, and it's because of my Ridgeback. And you'll understand why in a minute. So the number 4 oil, and it's called Digest Zen. Now, as you can see and as you hear it, you're probably guessing, you look at that, digest. What does that have to do with? It's good for all things digestive, okay? Any kind of digestive issues. Has a few different oils in it like fennel, coriander, just some things that are really calming and stuff to the digestive tract and really help kind of soothe stuff that's going on in there. We use a lot of this oil in my house with our pets. It's probably the most popular oil I use with my pets because of my Ridgeback, Simba. He not only chewed stuff up when he was young and a pup, but he ingested a lot of stuff. So early on, he had a lot of digestive issues. And it was something that we were able to give him, and it was great. And not only helping him expel whatever was in his system, but really just calms down that digestive tract pretty fast. Because these oils, once you put them on, they enter the cell immediately, so you can get an immediate effect, which is great when you have a dog that has a lot of discomfort and you're wanting an immediate effect for it. These oils help and they do that. So again, great oil blend to have in your home. You'll find that you'll use it quite often with your pets, like I said, because they get upset stomach, even if they're not eating things they shouldn't. Sometimes things just happen. Something else I do want to point out too is if your dog is sick or your pet is sick, your dog or your cat, because this is good for cats. There's nothing in there that you can't use on a cat. I don't believe. I would say check the ingredient label again, but I don't believe there's anything in there that's restricted for cats. Actually, there might be peppermint in there. So actually, I take that back. There is peppermint and digestin, so no on cats. But with dogs, something else that's great about this is because 80% of your immunity for humans and for pets lives in the digestive tract. It lives in the gut. Anything you can do to boost the gut is going to boost the immunity of the body that you're giving it to. So it's going to boost the animal's immune system, which means it's going to boost their overall health. So this is just a great oil to incorporate into your dog's regular daily routine, or even weekly routine a few times a week, just to keep them healthy and help boost, like I said, that immune system. So what's the number 5 oil that I recommend? It's another blend as well. And this blend is called On Guard. And actually, if you look at the name, it kind of tells you what it does. On guard, meaning on guard and defending against attacks that could come from the outside. Okay? Whether it's for people or for dogs. I will say this is not for cats either, because it's a blend, and some of the oils that are in this blend are oils you wouldn't want to use for cats, like clove and cinnamon. But dogs do really well with them. Now, because it does have hot oils in there, I will warn you, because it has hot oils, you're going to want to dilute it with a fractionated coconut oil before applying topically, okay? But you can use it aromatically with no problems at all, and even internally, and dogs tolerate it very well. This blend and the oils in it are full of antioxidants, so it's going to give some great supportive help to the body, especially if your pet's sick or if they might be getting ready to get sick. This is something that can really help the body fight it off or ward it off, right? So what's the number 6 oil? This is another blend as well, and this is one of my favorite blends for pets. It's Balance, okay? This blend has some really calming, great oils in it that they help bring the body back into homeostasis. So it really kind of helps if your pet's worked up, anxious, or whatever it is, whatever the condition is, it really kind of helps bring that body back down so it's not in a fight or flight state. It's back in homeostasis, and it really calms them down and helps just bring their world kind of back down into an even kill spot. This is one I love to diffuse near my dog's kennels if they're sick, or something that you can take and rub. You apply at the base of the head and rub it along the spine into their hair. It's very calming and very soothing while you're doing that with them as well, as the oils are soaking into the body. This is a great oil that I know some of the vets that I work with in my wellness business, they love using this with their horses, and the horses they treat in their own personal horses. Horses, again, tolerate a lot of oils, but this is one of their favorites to use with them. And I use it with my dogs all the time. So great oil. Number 7. What's the number 7 oil? I personally love this oil because it has a lot of amazing benefits, and it really does for our pets too. So the number 7 oil, we're racking up the oils of the Bible here, guys. We've already discussed frankincense, right? And guess what the number 7 is? Myrrh. So again, if you had no idea what frankincense was or myrrh, kind of like me when you're reading the Bible story going, they brought gold, frankincense, and myrrh to baby Jesus. What is that? Again, there's a reason why, because of all the health benefits, but myrrh. Here's what it does and why it's so amazing. It's going to stimulate the immune system and blood circulation. Guys, this is huge, not only for people, but for our pets as well. And they tolerate it very well. Myrrh has this a little bit of a sweet smell to it, which is kind of one of the reasons why I like it, but my dogs like it. My Ridgeback, who a lot of other oils he'll tolerate, he's like, okay, whatever. But myrrh, he'll actually lick if he smells it. He loves it. Which also tells me his body needs it, but he really likes the smell of it. And so my dogs love it. It's going to help relieve pain and subdue swelling. And it's going to promote tissue regeneration. So if your dog's suffering from some pain, some physical pain, or maybe something going on internally, this is a great oil to help relieve that. But also, again, it helps reduce swelling. So it's a very, very good oil to use for any kind of injury that has pain, swelling, or where you need tissue regeneration. It's amazing for the skin. It's very soothing, very calm and soothing to the skin. This is the oil, my go-to oil for my Ridgeback. For those of you who own big dogs, you're going to know what I'm talking about. If you own smaller dogs or medium-sized, medium breeds, you may not have to deal with this. But for owners of big dogs, you have dealt with hot spots on your dog before, right? They sit there, because my Ridgeback will sit up just like a little man. And people are like, oh, he looks like a little man. His little legs spread, and if something's itching, he will just lick that spot incessantly. And it always happens to be in the area of his legs where it's going to rub against stuff. And so he licks, and it rubs, and he creates a hot spot. My go-to oil for that is myrrh. I go get some myrrh, I put it directly on there, and literally 24 to 48 hours, not only is it calmed it, but that hot spot is almost completely gone. So again, very soothing, very calming for things like that. I recommend you have it in your home. It's really healing for the mouth as well. It's a really good oil for in and around the mouth. And again, remember I said I didn't say don't put things in their mouth. You can definitely do that. But it would be something that you would apply, put on your hand or put on a Q-tip and put in there. But it's healing for the mouth, any kind of sores or anything going on internally. It's a very potent antimicrobial, so it'll kill just about any microbe out there. It's useful in thyroid conditions, cancer. It's another cancer oil as well. Myrrh, frankincense are 2 must halves if you're dealing with cancer in a pet, okay? It's useful for diabetes, digestive issues, skin issues, and wounds. So it has a broad range of benefits, okay? And dogs are gonna love it, trust me, great one to have. And it's actually really good for cats. You can actually use it for cats. It's not an oil I'd be afraid of to use around cats as well. Okay, number 8, here's another really good one. Roman chamomile. Now, most of you have probably heard of this, especially any of you, or especially ladies. Sorry, my handwriting's getting crazier. That is an M and an I down there as I get further along. And especially if you're familiar with Bath and Body Works or any of the lotions and stuff that are out there, like lavender and chamomile, a lot of times are mixed together, so you've probably heard of it. But when you get pure Roman chamomile, it's calming and amazing for the skin, okay? Dogs tolerate it very, very well. And cats tolerate this oil very well too. So it's good to use for both of them. It's good for rashes and bumps. And it can be used for allergies, burns, diarrhea, nausea, psoriasis. Yep. Pets get psoriasis, believe it or not, too. Sprains, any kind of sprains going on. Fever. Okay, I had to use this and another oil the other day when my Ridgeback had fever. Great for fever, helping reduce it. Earaches, teething. You have puppies and they're teething, great oil to kind of just put on a Q-tip, rub on those gums, okay? Anxiety, depression, insomnia, and restlessness. Roman chamomile has a lot of great benefits. Okay, guys? So what's the number 9 oil? We have 2 more left to go. Number 9 oil. We use this in our home a lot. It's not the one we use the most, but we use it a lot. Lemon. Okay, for my cat owners, remember, no citrus oils. So you will not use lemon in your home, okay? Because again, their bodies can't metabolize it the same as dogs. Lemon is uplifting and energizing, okay? It's useful for stimulating the appetite. So if for whatever reason your dog doesn't have an appetite like they should, it's really good for stimulating that. It's good for relaxing anxiety. And it's something that I mix in our dog's water bowl in the home. Now you may be asking why. I'll put 1 drop in their metal water bowl. Don't do it in plastic, okay? Because pure oils will chew through the plastic. You don't want to do that. But I'll mix it in their metal water bowl, their stainless steel metal water bowl, because it's a good cleanser, or it's actually good for your cleansing organs in the body, for the liver and the kidneys. It's great for filtering through them and helping them filter properly. So put a drop in their water, they're going to get that in their system and in their organs. Great. It's great for supporting the immune system. And it increases the effectiveness of white blood cells in the body. Guys, that's huge because white blood cells fight disease. Okay? So it's good at increasing that in the body. It has a lot of great benefits. Just can't use it with cats, unfortunately, but you can with dogs, which is great. Alrighty? And something, if you can't, for my cat owners out there, if citrus oil is like something that you can't use with them, like lemon, a good alternative, if you can't use that, would be lemongrass. You're going to get similar benefits, not exactly the same, but similar. If you have to replace a citrus oil for something, lemongrass is a good alternative for lemon. Okay? Number 10, it's another blend. Alrighty? Number 10 oil is Deep Blue. So what is good about this oil? This is an oil you will only use topically, okay? It's not really going to benefit you as much aromatically because of what it's created to do. All the other oils you can use aromatically, and some you can do internally as well. But Deep Blue is going to be topical only. All right? It's a massage blend. So this is great to massage along the spine and sore joints, just like you would for people. It's great for sore muscle relief. This can really help your dogs as well. If they're sore, they have any kind of soreness going on, give them a massage with this. It'll really relax those muscles for them. Okay? I'm going to give you a bonus oil. And then we're going to be done with the oils, but I'm going to give you a bonus oil here, okay? We are almost done. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to give you the bonus oil. We're going to talk about where you can get these oils if you're going, this sounds great, but I want to know where to get them from and where can I trust. I'm going to go over that with you. And then remember, I'm going to put a link in here for you so you can not only get these oils, but learn how to get them at a discounted price in your home. And you'll be able to order them online and stuff. So don't go anywhere. You're not going to want to miss out on that, okay? So what's a bonus oil? Bonus oil, and I've discovered this recently, and I've actually been using it more and more, and really the dogs tolerate it well. Cedarwood. That's your bonus oil. Why cedarwood? What is so special about that oil? Well, cedarwood is useful for respiratory conditions, skin issues, and kidney and urinary tract infections. And that's what I've been using it for lately with my Vizsla. And if your dog is prone to that, there's a few different oils you can use. Juniper berry is great for that. But cedarwood, we ran out of juniper berry. I was like, oh, I need something else. Cedarwood is actually really good and effective too. So now I can rotate between those because cedarwood I get in a bigger bottle, juniper berry is smaller. So again, it's nice to know you have a few different oils. And sometimes I'll use them both to maybe get better effectiveness when my Vizsla, my female, develops those urinary tract infections. Okay? It also promotes restfulness and feelings of calmness and relaxation. So it has multiple uses, but it's a bonus oil that gets overlooked and not enough people know its benefits. So it's definitely a good one to have on hand. Okay, so remember, these are my top 10 oils with a bonus oil. Now, this is by no means every oil that is good to use with your dog. Like I just mentioned juniper berry, and it's not on this list, and it's great to use. So there's a lot of other oils out there, but these are the top 10 I would say have in your home, have around, because you're going to use these on a regular basis. And there are other oils that you will incorporate when you need them, okay? So remember when I said the type of oil you use is important, where you get it from, how it's made. Guys, it's important. It is so critically important. It matters where you get your oils from, not only because you need to know what's in them and what's going in and out of your body, but if you want them to truly be effective and give you the results that we've just gone over that we say they can do, you have to be getting the right oils. So I'm going to say something here, okay? And I hope everybody hears me and knows my heart that I'm saying this to help you, but I'm going to talk to you like I would a family member or friend. It's because I love you and I want the best for you and your animals, okay? So I'm going to be blunt and I'm going to be real with you, but we're family here, okay? So we can handle this, right? I hope you're saying yes, because if not, hopefully this may step on toes, but it's not what I'm trying to do. But please understand me when I say this. When it comes to something as important as your pet's health, whether it's your dogs or your cats or your health, but especially when it comes to something as important as your pet's health, you cannot let money and the cost be the deciding factor. You cannot look at something and try to go for the cheapest thing out there that you can get, especially when it comes to something like essential oils where quality matters. Because I promise you, the cheapest stuff out there will not be the best. And there's so many reasons for that we're not even going to get into today, but you need to look for quality. That doesn't mean you have to spend an arm and a leg and go bankrupt doing it, because you definitely don't. And again, I told you, I'm going to show you how to get it at a discounted price, but still keep in mind that discounted price isn't going to be dirt cheap, because you just won't be getting the same effectiveness, okay? So if you're serious about this, and it really, honestly, it doesn't matter how much money you spend. Even if I'm spending $10 or $20 on something, that's $10 or $20 my hard-earned money. I want to make sure I'm getting $10 or $20 worth, okay? So if you're going to spend it, make sure you're spending it to get something that's going to work, okay? Anyways, it's my little side note, my little caveat. So let me tell you what I use, where I get my oils from, and let me tell you why, okay? I put a lot of time in research into where do I go, where should we use, where should we buy from, who do I trust, who do I not trust, because having a science background and having studied to be a doctor, I'm skeptical by nature when it comes to things like this. I don't trust. I'm a don't trust, verify, and then trust kind of person. This is the only area of my life where I'm like this, but again, because I have a science mind that I have to see facts and I have to see it work, and what I've known in the history when you hear of essential oils or anything like this, or some of the all-natural things that are out there, nothing has ever really been effective or been what it said it was. So I was skeptical when I had a really good friend of mine approach me. So I had to do some research, but I found a company. They proved me wrong. I had 4 criteria, and I was thinking, I have these 4 criteria, no one's gonna be able to meet these, so I'm not gonna be using them, because there's no company out there that's gonna be able to meet all 4 criteria. There was a company that started proving me wrong one by one, as they proved all 4 of those criteria. And I started becoming more and more of a believer as I saw each of those being validated for me. And then when we tried them and experienced them and saw the effects in our life, I realized there is something out there, okay? So if you're skeptical, I get it. I was there, I was you. But I'm gonna encourage you, do your research, okay? Because these oils will not only change your pet's life, but they'll change your life as well. But again, it matters where you go. And there's really only one company I can say this about. So what company am I talking about? This company is doTERRA. Okay, the name of this company, just to let you know where it came from, doTERRA means gift of the earth. That's why it was named that, because these are truly a gift of the earth to us. Again, we're going back to nature. Okay, nature knows what it's doing a lot of times and we don't. So keep it simple, don't make it complicated, and it works, right? So why doTERRA? I want to talk about a few different things doTERRA does that no other company making essential oils or offering essential oils does. Okay, and there are things that are key to why their oils are so effective. Okay, first thing is they source their oils from where they grow naturally in the world. Well, why is this important? Why does that matter? Here's why it matters. Because where certain trees or certain plants grow, they grow there naturally for a reason, because that environment is conducive to them growing there, as well as the soil in that area. Let me give you an example. I live in Texas, the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Born and raised here. Love it, by the way. Native Texan, one of those crazy proud Texans you see that travel around the country. Always will be. But so if my husband and I want to grow a citrus tree here, we could probably plant one. We have a nice big greenhouse. We could say, okay, because we know it gets really cold, we could put one in our greenhouse. We could create the kind of soil it's supposed to have, do everything to the best of our ability that we can to grow a citrus tree. Now, we might get some fruit out of it. Let's say it's an orange tree. We might get some oranges. But do you think those oranges are going to have the same chemical profile and the same benefits that an orange tree that grows naturally in Florida or California is going to have? I'm going to go ahead and answer that for you and tell you no. Because we don't have the same climate. We don't have everything in the soil. Even if we're putting things in the pot in the soil that we're growing it in, it's not going to be the same as what's in the soil naturally in those climates. So yes, we may get an orange. It won't taste the same, but even beyond that, it's not going to have the same chemical profile. It's not going to have all the flavonoids and all the different things that are in there that our body needs as it would if it grew in one of those two climates. So it matters where you source from, okay? Second thing I want to point out about doTERRA is 96%, yes, it's 96 now. I was going to backtrack because it used to be lower, but it's now 96% of all the oils that doTERRA sources are sourced exclusively to them. So what do I mean by that? When I say it's sourced exclusively to them, it means that particular grower that they use does not sell to any other company selling essential oils. 96% of their oils are done that way. Guys, that's huge because you have to understand the difference. There's a lot of people out there offering essential oils, growing plants and different things where they're getting essential oils, but not all essential oils are created equal. Not all those growers are using the right processes, so you're not going to get all the same potency in all those oils. So again, doTERRA is very selective in who they choose. They have to meet their standard to get the best potency that's out there. So they source exclusively. When they find someone who meets that, if they want to source with doTERRA, they have to do it exclusively. So when we say not all oils are equal, that's what I mean by that, because other companies will say, we all get our oils from the same place. Maybe the same area, but it's not necessarily the same grower, and it matters, okay? Think of it like this. It's like saying both Honda and Toyota make cars, right? They're both car makers. They both are going to source some things or get parts or do certain things the same way or from the same place, right? But do they make the same cars? No. There may be similarities. And this is kind of a good example, kind of a bad example, because depending on who you are, you may prefer one over the other. But they're not going to be the same, okay? Same thing with growers. Their oils aren't going to be the same, right? The third thing that they do that's unique to doTERRA that I really, really love, and I think you're going to love this too, because here's where the science really kicks in and matters. They not only do in-house testing, but they do exhaustive third-party testing on all of their oils. Okay, and I'm going to read kind of the processes because, like I said, it's exhaustive. So I'm going to kind of walk you through what all they do and everything they go through in testing their oils, right? They use a third-party company called the APRC. They're a third-party testing company. They're actually the best, if not one of the only testing companies out there for essential oils to really test for purity and quality. And if you're wanting a high standard quality oil and you're wanting to test it, this is who you go to. And they're independent of any, they don't sell essential oils, they just test them, okay? So they test in-house and they use APRC. So here's their process for testing, guys. The producer, whoever the grower is or producer, they distill and they create a pre-shipment oil, okay? That sample, that pre-shipment oil, is then sent to the APRC for testing. Once the APRC has results, they send those results to doTERRA. doTERRA will either approve or disapprove those results for production. Okay? And then doTERRA holds that sample. Okay? They're not producing it yet. That's just the first round of tests. doTERRA asks the APRC to do a second round of testing from another sample batch that's sent to them by the producer. So the APRC does a second round of testing, and they compare the original sample to the second sample. And then doTERRA, the results are sent to doTERRA, and they either approve or disapprove on that. And by the way, doTERRA has also already done internal testing on the first sample, and they do internal testing on the second sample. And they compare all of those to see. And if they don't match up, it doesn't get made, it doesn't get sold to you. Now, why does it matter that they do a first round and a second round of testing on two different samples from that distiller? Because they're looking for consistency. Because it matters. Because keep in mind, and you may not know this, the oils, when they're made in big drums, and they're made in volume, and they're sent. So they need to know that whatever they're pulling out of that drum is going to be the same, and it wasn't just a random sample. So that's why they do multiple samples. Again, this is exhaustive testing that's not cheap to do, guys. And there's nobody else doing this kind of testing, not to this extent. The APRC will tell you the same thing too. Okay? Every lot tested by the APRC is done at least twice by doTERRA. It's done at least twice. Once by doTERRA and once by the producers. So again, exhaustive testing. All right. Something else I want to point out about this company, they are the only essential oil company to have a veterinary advisory panel. They have a medical advisory panel. They have a veterinary advisory panel, which means vets who are licensed veterinarians and they practice vet medicine sit on this board, and they use these oils, and they use them not only in their personal life but in their practices. It's the only essential oil company to have this kind of expertise behind it, guys. So it matters. It matters when you're using it on your pets if experts are using this, and experts and some of the best in their field. Two more things I want to point out, and then we're going to wrap this up. But every respectable doctor and vet that I know and that I trust for any kind of medical advice, whether it's for my family or my pets, they use this company. So that made it even easier for me. The last thing to keep in mind is that doTERRA is the largest essential oil company in the world. And also think about this, they don't just have essential oils that they sell, they have other all natural products, which I love about them because they're an essential wellness company. But at the core of those products, they're essential oil based. So what I like to point out is there's a bunch of companies selling essential oils, but doTERRA is only an essential oil company. Everything they do is based off essential oils and wellness. It's not like they are another company that has another main business and they've added essential oils to it because it's become so popular. This is what they do. They are experts in this field. And if you're going to use something for your health, whether it's your health or your pet's health, don't you want to go to the experts? I know I do. And this is why I trust this company. Now, like I said, there's going to be a link on here. Click on the link. What this is going to do is give you a ton of information where you can go and you're going to actually learn. I'm going to give you even more information about some of the oils and the company. But this link will also show you how you can get these oils at a discounted price. Guys, I'm going to show you how to save 25% off retail pricing. So you're going to save more, show you how you can earn points. It's like having dollars back to use on these oils. And trust me, I use points all the time. It's like free money for oils every month. You'll learn how to do this. Just click this link. It'll take you to the email where you'll learn how to do all this. If you have any questions, please send them to me. I would love to answer your questions and go more in depth with you on this. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you've enjoyed this series on the 4 things your pets need. Because if you're like me, our pets are family. We want them to be around for a long time. But there are things we have to do to ensure that happens. So I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have any questions, send them my way. Make sure you click on the link. Make sure you subscribe and you come back. There will be more videos in the future. Not only more videos in the pet series, but other health and wellness videos. And again, I want to hear your feedback. I hope you're enjoying this. And guys, now is the time. There's never been a better time than to start now. If your pets, if you're like they're unhealthy or I haven't been doing this for so long, how can I start now? Don't think like that. You can start at any time, just like you can for yourself. to increase your pet's longevity and to make sure they have the best health possible. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.